Hi and welcome to This Is Your Life. Well, this week's guest of honour has been a journalist for over 40 years. His career has taken this small-town boy to the US as a top foreign correspondent before he became a household name around Australia. He first muscled his way into radio before hosting various national television programs. And his name is synonymous with countless court battles, a stint in jail, a tempestuous love life, numerous sackings, but always an unshakable resolve to protect the rights of children. These days, he's back doing what he loves most, radio. And that's where we're going to surprise him during his program, Live on Air. So, let's do it.
Rhonda Birchmore, good morning.
Good morning, Derryn.
Now, let's talk about the newest first. I want to talk about Mamma Mia, obviously, but the newest first. You have your new CD out.
Yeah.
And here it is called Midnight Rendezvous.
That's the first track.
The first track. Okay,
It's
we'll put
the first CD.
First CD, the first track, the first
It's a
CD. We'll get it there. Okay, let's have a listen to it now.
Last night.
Goodness, there we go. It starts off with just me, I think. Oh,
Yeah, shut up, Rhonda.
When you came in sight, I got that old feeling.
Who wrote your press release? Listen to this.
go stop it!
Listen to this.
They had.
It says that she's gives her a chance to shine a new light. She's usually described as racy, red hot, and raunchy. But she insists she's an ordinary woman who likes a quiet night with the family.
Stop it!
As much as put out there, I'm a big party girl. I'm only a party girl because I have to go to the places where I have to be photographed.
I'm sorry.
My favourite thing is coming home and putting out some music and hanging around on my trackies.
That's right.
Oh, rubbish.
You've seen me in my tracker, Derryn.
You'd go to the opening of an envelope.
I would not, and I only do that because, you have to do that in this business.
You would indeed. And another guest has come just to have a chat to you.
Not so much to...
Not me.
We've already done Miss Birchmore, haven't we?
The nicest way.
Derryn Hinch,
Don't worry.
this is your life.
I do not. Holy shaman.
Don't tell me Derryn Hinch is speechless.
You got.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Munro from This Is Your Life. We're surprising him live on air.
I don't believe it. Yeah, I think we're going to take a break. Mr. Munro,
How are you, mate?
I never ever dreamed I'd ever get caught. And when you walked in, I thought you'd done Rhonda Birchmore. I even thought that. I thought, what a great get. Got me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derryn Hinch. Two faces out there?
Yes.
Derryn, please, take a seat. Take a seat.
Whew.
Still recovering.
Yes. Yes.
Derryn Nigel Hinch. You're born on the 9th of February 1944 in New Plymouth, New Zealand. There he is. You're the third of 4 children to parents Betty and Dick. Your dad is a driver during World War II, and at one stage he's locked up in the stockade for going AWOL to visit his new son and wife. As a child, you are as much of a larrikin as he is. You never go looking for trouble, but you always seem to find it.
I can't believe you bit me.
It's your sister Barbara.
You didn't know, did you?
Now, why did he bite you?
Well, he was about 8 years old at the time, and I was outside playing with friends, and he was being a real pain. And an argument developed, so I thought, right, I wanted to get rid of him, so I told Mum. I went and bit myself, went in and said, Mum, Derryn's bitten me. He got reprimanded, sent to his room. We got to play with no interruptions. And he's never forgiven
No,
me.
never have, actually. Love her dearly. That is, I tell you, I've watched this show so many times. Oh, yeah. Magic. Just magic, darling.
Wonderful. Thanks, Barbara. Thanks, Barbara. And Derryn, the rest of the family sends you this from New Zealand.
Derryn, we're really sorry we can't be with you tonight because we know how important family is to you. But we're glad to be here because we thought that by the time they talk to all of your ex-wives, all of your former girlfriends, all those bosses who've sacked you and anybody else that you've upset, there wouldn't have been room for us. It's been quite an experience being your brother, particularly when I've gone to Australia. I remember flying into Sydney once and the man took my passport and all he said after looking at it was, "You're not, are you?" And I said, "I am." And he said, "Come in, mate, you've got enough problems already."
I remember when the Springboks came to visit in 1956 and you were a drummer with the New Plymouth Boys High School Band and took part in a parade to welcome them. En route, our dog Waffles decided that he wanted to join in the action and you told him to go home numerous times, but because he recognised your voice, he decided he wanted to stay. Much to your embarrassment, on the next day's front page of the Taranaki Herald was a picture of you and Waffles marching. I wondered, was this the beginning of your fame? Enjoy your night, I'm proud of you, and I wish Mum had been alive to share it with you.
I'm sorry we can't be with you tonight, son, but we're thinking of you and hope you have a very happy time on this occasion. Thank you, Dad.
The bizarre thing is, of course, that my father's D. Hinch, as in Dick Hinch. My brother is D. Hinch, as in Des Hinch. And my poor brother, at one stage, was a Des Hinch, no relation, in the phone book in Melbourne. And they kept phoning, people phoned him and abused him. And I sent the woman some flowers, is all I could do, until she says, OK, she said, my father's living with us. He's 75, he's Lithuanian, doesn't speak English. We just put him on the phone. So he stood there and copped all the abuse all the time.
Derryn, academically, you're an extremely bright student. But at 15, you decide to leave school
My God.
to work on the local newspaper. And it's now your true talents begin to shine. For the next 3 years, you try to learn everything there is about journalism. At 18, in 1963, you leave New Zealand bound for Australia. Once in Sydney, you land a job as the police roundsman for the Sun newspaper, but you lied to get the job. True?
That is true, yeah. I doctored my driver's licence with Clorox to add 3 years to my age, yeah.
And grew the beard.
And grew the beard, yes.
Well, it's also on the Sun where you meet and eventually marry fellow reporter Lana Wells. You later land a plum position as a foreign correspondent in New York for Fairfax newspapers. And here, over the next 11 years, you witness firsthand some of the changing moments in world history. You report on everything from the Detroit riots to the assassinations of Martin Luther King and Senator Bobby Kennedy, the America's Cup, and of course, the Apollo 11 moon landing.
And you can see the actual step.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hi Derryn, congratulations. By my estimation, we've actually known each other for 28 years. No wonder I'm very tired. On the occasion of this very special event for you, I get an opportunity to look back at the past, and of course we first met both as journalists in New York. You were my boss and I was the youngest member of the Fairfax New York Bureau. Then of course through the Sun newspaper, and then I had the dubious honour of launching you twice on an unsuspecting Australian public, first at 3XY and then at 3AW. I suppose when I look back over all of those years, my most abiding memory is of the song, the Richard Harris song, MacArthur Park. You know exactly what I mean, Derryn. I can't say that it's a very good song, but it is certainly a very long song. from memory, I think it's 6.5 minutes long. It became the unofficial theme song of the Derryn Hinch show all throughout your radio career, because every time management came in to have a huge argument with us, we'd have to put MacArthur Park on so that we'd at least get 6.5 minutes of yelling and screaming in with them.
Unless you're prepared to give me an absolute assurance and guarantee that anything you further say from this point on over the air will not be election matter, we'll have to discontinue at this point.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately then we'll have to discontinue the program for today. What about tomorrow? What's the situation with tomorrow? Are you prepared to come in and do the program without any reference to any election matter at all?
No, I'm not.
Well, in that case, it means that today and tomorrow your program will not be on air on 3RW.
It's more than that, Richard. My program is not going to be here this morning, or on Monday I've considered a breach of my contract. I will not be here next week.
Anyway, Derryn, this is a wonderful occasion for you. I only wish I could be there with you. I am here in Switzerland, but rest assured my thoughts and my best wishes are with you. I hear that so many of your friends are turning up there in the audience tonight. I'm surprised that some of them have been let out of jail for this, but just have a wonderful, wonderful evening, mate. And I really wish I could be there, but I'm thinking of you. Good night.
Derryn, in 1973, you're 29 when you and Lana go your own separate ways. 2 years later, you meet and marry US flight attendant Eve Carpenter. That same year, on a business trip to Sydney, you tell Sir Warwick Fairfax exactly what's wrong with his afternoon newspaper. 2 days later, back in the US, you're offered the job as deputy editor of The Sun. But you do have conditions, don't you?
Yeah. I said, I'll come back as deputy. I'll come back as editor-in-chief. He said, no, that's no good. I said, I'll come back as deputy on one condition, that if I'm not editor in 6 weeks, I'll quit.
And?
In 4 weeks, I was editor.
And as editor, you certainly never bow to any directives from management. And someone who knows that all too well is one of your former senior reporters at the time, David Jones. The story is everything to this bloke, isn't it?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Mike, Derryn Hinch to me is always going to be the fearless editor. The favourite saying, no guts, no glory.
No guts, no glory. That's
no
true.
guts, no glory. And I remember that I came across a story one day that Sydney's then new double-decker trains were a fire trap. They caught fire and the seats, when they burnt, gave off a deadly gas.
That's right.
And we discovered that the government had tried to suppress the story. We then discovered that our own management had tried to suppress the story.
Done a deal with the government, that's true, yes.
And Derryn Hinch would never suppress a story about public safety, even for 24 hours. And there was a classic confrontation, I believe, on the composing room floor of the old Sydney Sun, you saying the story will run, and management saying, no, it won't. And just like that movie, The Paper, with Glenn Close and Michael Keaton, fighting over a story, Derryn Hinch won. The story ran front page of the Sydney Sun that day.
I remember turning to the bosses and saying to them, I can't go to sleep tonight if a train catches fire during peak hour on the way home. And I said, so it runs. And they said, no, it doesn't. And luckily, in that old-style newspaper days, they said, I said, well, I'm out of here. I guess you've got to fire me. As I walked off the floor, they chased me because they'd gone to say, pull that page, and the composing room workers said, no, we only answer to the editor. So I went back in and said, hit the button, run the story, you're out of here.
Well, Derryn, thanks for sharing the glory.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks, David. Thanks, mate. But after only a year, you resign and start your own magazine called Focus. However, the magazine fails to sell and leaves you flat broke. It's also now your second marriage breaks down. But as is always the case with you, Derryn, when one door closes, another opens. You're now offered your own radio show for Melbourne's 3XY.
I told him to do talkback radio, and he was a huge success.
It's your great mate and fellow radio host, Bob Rogers.
This is one of the great liars. I talked to him the other night, you know.
And Bobby obviously took your well-founded advice to go into talkback?
That wasn't the only bit of good advice I gave him. I wonder if he can remember the most important advice I gave you for getting
I do indeed.
What was it?
It was never learn to work the equipment or you'll have to work weekends. And I never did, and I never did.
We're an odd couple, you know. We're great friends. We do a lot of drinking and eating and laughing together.
And playing cards.
And playing cards. Fortunately, he's a bad card player. We've had some very wonderful lost nights. But I owed him that advice because when I first met him in New York, about 30 years ago, New York, to me, I'm a bit like Woody Allen. I love big cities. And he took me out drinking, and I'd never had a martini. And you gave me some good advice. You know the line, but let me use it.
Yes.
He said, 1 martini is not enough, 2's too many, and 3 martinis are not enough.
That's exactly right. That's the truth.
I was thinking out there, I was in radio before you were born.
True.
As I say, we're an odd couple. I've got about as many children as you've had wives. I've only got 1 wife, which is more than you have children, and yet we love each other, don't we?
We do. Yeah. I tell you, this man is a brother to me. He's a brother. His friends say, well, you're a friend of Hinch's? How could that possibly be? And yet we've had some wonderful times together. He had an illness last year. To see you here just is absolutely magic, Robert.
Hey, listen,
magic.
I had cancer and chemotherapy, and they reckon your hair drops out.
Yeah, I told you it was false.
Bob, thanks very much for coming in, mate.
Couldn't have a chance.
Darren, it's 1979 and your popularity on radio is now well and truly established. Rival radio station 3AW snaps you up for its morning talkback program. Now, it's a slow start, but you do eventually knock the king of Melbourne radio, Bert Newton, off his throne. You develop a close and personal relationship with your listeners. You even tell them of your love for actress Linda Stoner, announce the wedding day, and that it's off. You also reveal to one distressed caller your own terrible experience as a young boy. Can you tell us about that?
Being molested, yes. I was molested as a child, and I hadn't made a big deal about it, but a listener called up. She was very distressed about her own times as a child, and I said, I'm 44, haven't even told my husband. I said, look, you can get on with a life. You can have a life. You can face it and get through it. So it was more being trying to give her advice. Then one of the glossies picked the story up, and Hinch was molested. It went like that, and from then on, it became a sort of a lightning rod, I guess, on issues about child molestation, and it became a cause which people say I'm obsessed with, and if I am, so be it.
Well, having reached the top in both newspapers and radio, you're now offered television. You fill in as host of Willisey 81 and then become the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. And one of your favourite beauties is Geraldine Turner.
This is amazing.
Isn't it?
Geraldine, what was he really like as a beast?
Well, he was fabulous, but he was terrible as well because he agreed with everything we said. You know, he's really a big old softie, Derryn.
I was more of not a beauty, but I was more of a feminist than they were, and so it only lasted 1 year because I wouldn't take positions like Eric Boehm, the old guy, used to do, or Zemanek would do, just being an absolute jerk.
He was absolutely gorgeous to us. It was one of the best years of my life, actually, that year on the show.
And lunches and dinners fantastic.
Fantastic. But you know what I love about Derryn most of all is that he's a big softie and his wonderful openness. You know, I once did a show years later at the Tilbury Hotel, and I did one of your favourite songs, Harry Chapin's song called Mr. Tanner, do you remember? And you came with Jackie and you cried buckets, and then he used to come every weekend and see the show and sit in the audience and cry.
Yeah, it's a great way to spend the Sunday, you know.
Oh, I love a man who cries. Congratulations, darling.
Thanks, Geraldine. Thanks, darling. Thank you. Well, now your career really takes off. So too your love affair with actress Jackie Weaver. After eventually tying the knot with Jackie, you now feel you can take on the world. So in 1985, you name a former Catholic priest whom you know to be a convicted child molester. This now lands you in deep trouble. You're held in contempt of court and put on trial. It's a 2-year legal battle that ends up with you going to jail. You become the first Australian journalist in 50 years to be imprisoned for contempt of court.
And if I've stopped one kid, if I've prevented this happening to one kid, let alone 50 or 100, one kid, then it's worth it and I'll do the 28 days and come out again. I've always said, on air and off air, you do the crime, you do the time. Well, they've said I've done the crime, so now comes the time.
After 12 days, you're released back into the arms of Jackie and into a sea of yellow ribbons from your supporters.
I could have been out last Friday and declined. I think it's a joke, a man's jail for 28 days and comes out after 12. There's something wrong with the system, but I have more to say about that. I don't think I should be out at all.
That same year in 1987, you were approached by the former owner of the Seven Network, the late Christopher Skase, to front your own TV show. You call it Hinch.
Well, the name Willisy was taken. Last night we brought you the story of the workers on the Chifley Square project in Sydney. They walked off the job until the bosses provided them with expensive designer sunglasses, $80 a pair. Total cost $15,000. Well, it gets worse. Between 90 and 150 of them walked off again today, this time as a protest against their treatment by the media, especially our story last night. Poor, sensitive diddums. They're having another work-disrupting meeting on the site tomorrow, and to that I would say, grow up, you're lucky to have a job. I'm Derryn Hinch.
Hinch makes you one of the best-known faces on Australian television, but it also makes you a very easy target.
It's called the Darren doll. Ugly little bugger, isn't he? In fact, I'd say it was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And believe me, I've seen some ugly things. Who'd want to give it to a child? And to give them nightmares. But that's not all. But what happens when you press this button on his back?
Shameful, disgusting, unbelievable, utterly unforgivable.
I couldn't have put it better myself. In fact, it's just how I describe its irritating little whine. Irritating whine doesn't go away, even when you do this.
I won't be silenced that easily.
You can't even belt the living daylights out of it. And it still won't shut up. I ask you, is this the kind of thing we should be encouraging in this country? Well, thank heavens, it's only a toy. Imagine if it was real. I'm Derryn Hinch. That's life.
Derryn Hinch, shame, shame, shame.
It's the man who was you, Steve Vizard. Steve, the likeness is pretty scary.
It was scary. I remember the first time I was doing it, Derryn was doing his show and I was in the makeup room and Derryn was getting made up for his show and they started to make me up and I was practising my lines. All red-headed people should be shot and left-handed people should be hung up by the ghoulies, and they're putting the beard on and the whole thing. And he watched it happening and the only thing he said at the end of it was, "Geez, you're a good-looking bastard." But I went out.
Actually, I thought, I've got to get out of here. I felt I've been sucked away. I mean, suddenly watching your own face appearing on somebody else, and he's spouting these lines and said, "I'm out of here." You know?
But I went out on the street for a TV Week shoot, and I'm waiting for a cab to come to take me to TV Weeks. I'm standing there, sort of prancing around, doing shame, 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 waving at all the passing cars and everything.
With his beard all dressed up.
The whole box and dice. And Derryn rushes out, and there's a big limo there with these two bodyguards, and he's pushed into it, and just he yells at, he says, "Geez, your game, Steve. I've got 4 people trying to kill me at the moment."
But he's always been a good sport about it too, Steve, hasn't he?
Yeah, very good sport. But big party man, actually. Do you remember that party? I had a 40th birthday party.
Oh, yes.
And Derryn came all the way down from Sydney and I'd hired those sort of skiing machines and Indy 500, all those sorts of things. And everyone had gone home about 5 in the morning and all I could hear in the backyard was well, what's that? I went down and there on the ski machine is Derryn totally sloshed on the ski machine. And you've been going for about an hour. So I said, "Look, mate," I said, "You better go home." He said, I said, "Can I get you a cab?" And I put him out on the street. He said, "No, I'll walk." He's walking home. He said, "By the way, how long have you been living in Sydney for?" So God knows how you got home.
Do you remember that? I do indeed. The worst one with him and Hunch was that halfway through Hinch one night, my producer Dermot O'Brien, who's out there, he said, "Look above your head." I turned around on my set and looked up, and these guys had left the Hunch sign above my head. I'd done half a Hinch show with the his fast forward Hunch sign. I said, this is madness.
He was interviewing the treasurer and it's got Hunch above it. It was fantastic.
No, actually, probably it was John Howard. It's probably very appropriate.
Exactly.
Steve, thanks very much for coming in, mate.
Thanks,
much appreciated. Derryn, it's 1990 when your devoted mum is diagnosed with lung cancer and has only 6 months to live. But after only 2 months, you're told she has only hours left. You rush home and spend the last 24 hours of her life by her bedside. Now, are you able to tell us what was going through your mind?
It was so bad, to be honest, and this also made a headline in the magazine later, unintentionally. It went through my mind that I would put a pillow over my mother's face and kill her. Because I said, you know, I'm a great believer in voluntary euthanasia, because I looked at her and I thought, if she were a dog and the RSPCA came in here, they'd arrest me for cruelty to animals. And it went through my mind. I was sat the last night with her through the night, and I thought, this is not humane, this is not right, and it shouldn't be happening to anybody. And it was a, I guess since then, if I ever need reassurance that voluntary euthanasia is a very good thing, that did it with my mum. Nobody deserves to go through the pain that she went through in the past few weeks of her life.
Well, you're still trying to cope with the loss of your mother when Channel 7 sacks you in 1991, despite pretty good ratings. The following year, you're resurrected by the 10 network. But 2 years later, you're once again announcing another sacking.
And so after 6 years, 1,500 programs, 45,000 minutes of live television, it is time to close the book on the Hinch style of current affairs. It is a bittersweet moment, and it's sad. We are breaking up a great team, the best team of people that I've ever worked with. They are talented and committed. I accept that any television management has the right to make decisions, to start programs and stop programs, and I accept it. I don't have to agree with it, but I accept it.
In 1994, having already been with both 7 and 10, you cross your fingers and take your chances here at the 9 network hosting the midday show. This gives you the opportunity to show audiences your softer side.
And I'm more interested in the person. I'm not a political... God, look at those shoes. Can we have a close-up? Look at Hinch's shoes.
Well, yours is exactly not...
Well, I've been in Mildura. I've just been in Swan Hill. I mean, you know...
Same old slip-on shoes.
Oh, yeah. You've been surveying these all around Australia, haven't you?
Well, everyone seems to wear them, but none of them have quite such a nice sort of stilettoette heel. Like
Thank you. I know why you're here. This is you're Britain's revenge for us sending Rolf Harris to London doing Stairway to Heaven. Is that right?
Exactly. A piece like... The first day I got to the set, she came in the trailer and the door would open and she said, "Oh, great to see you, Tom. I'm so excited that you're here," and stuff. And she had on like this little lace teddy thing. You know what those are. You probably wear them around the house. And I'm kidding.
I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to touch it. I wanted to come away with it. And I think a lot of things like that, you do come away with it by touching and feeling and...
Is that right?
And getting the vibrations.
Somebody else might say, I'm no Einstein.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
But after only 1 year, you're again shown the door. You do remain with the network for a series of specials until you're offered a job with 2GB to take on the king of Australian radio, John Laws, and how could you refuse?
John Singleton phoned me up and said, "Mate, you don't have to, have too many clues to know what I want you to do." And he said, "I want you to come to Sydney, take on Laws on radio." And he said, "I don't expect you to beat him." And I said, "Well, don't hire me then, because I like winning, and that's what I hope to do, plan to do." Good morning. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, or just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, I'm Derryn Hinch, and you're not.
While you're at 2GB, you announce to listeners that you and Jackie have decided to separate, but you both remain good mates. In fact, Derryn, you remain good friends with all the women in your life, and here they are now. Derryn Hinch, Derryn Hinch, this is your wife. Number 1, Lana. Number 2, Eve. Almost number 3, Linda. And of course, Jackie Weaver. Now,
Now,
Lana,
that is Beauties and the Beast.
Lana, if I could start with you, just tell us how Derryn first proposed to you.
Oh, well, it was 1966 and Derryn was working in New York. We'd both been in Canada. We thought the relationship was finished. I went back to Sydney and it was New Year's Eve, 1966, and he rang me from New York around midnight and he said, I want to get married. And I said, good. Anyone I know? And he said, you. And I said, oh, I'll have to think about this, or I don't know. So a couple of weeks later, I was still thinking, and I received a little parcel from New Zealand. And it was an engagement card from his mother with a little, a little embroidered hand towel. And I thought, hang on a minute, I haven't even said yes. And he had forged my signature and put notices in the New Zealand papers announcing our engagement. And I'll say one thing, he's determined and he never gives in.
No. And Eve, also, you'll testify that he's always there if you need him.
Yes, this is about a long time after we'd broken up. And I was living in Australia. My son was living in the United States. And one night I was flipping through the dial on the TV and I came across the Hinch show. And Derryn was running a telecast of a mother and her adopted daughter that were being brought together by satellite. And I broke into tears and I was very moved by that. And I called Derryn up right after the show was over and I said, how did you do that? How did you get those two together? And he said, you won't believe it, it was with the help of the Salvos. Mm-hmm. And in my office, I have a plaque here that says, thank you, Derryn, for bringing together over 100 families. And it was from the Salvation Army. So with his advice, with Derryn's advice, and the help of the Salvos, I was able to contact my son after many years. And that meant so much to me.
That's bizarre because we just started on radio in Melbourne. I started that thing again with the Salvos finding missing people. God, this is amazing.
Oh, Linda, twice engaged in 18 months.
Yeah, it was a very intense relationship.
So delicately put.
We were asked to be presenters at the Sammys and we thought we'd be quite mature and professional about it, so we went along and somewhere in between the nominations and the winner is, Derryn leaned forward to the mic and said, is it okay if I tell the nation that I love you? And I forget who won, I don't know.
It was John Digan, actually. It was John Digan.
Anyway, you're one of the most extraordinary people in the world. We all love you. You're soft and gentle and yeah, it's great to be here.
And Jackie, also a shrinking violet. Didn't the shrinking violet propose to you in a newspaper?
He took out a full-page ad in a newspaper. I think it cost him $5,000, saying, I love Jackie Weaver. And I was in a cafe at the time when I saw it. I was so embarrassed. I was mortified. I put the tablecloth over my head.
Put the napkin on her head. Sat there with the napkin on her head.
But I was engaged to be married to somebody else at the time. But Hinch was relentless, and eventually, of course, we married. And we married again 7 years later. We were together 12 years, and I must say that he is the sweetest-natured, kindest man I've ever known, and God knows I've known a few. And I count myself a very lucky woman to know him.
Oh, darling. A lot of people wouldn't appreciate what you're saying, would they?
Well, it's true. I think he's very misrepresented. I think unless you know him, you don't realise just how sweet-natured he is. He's a sweetheart.
I'm getting embarrassed now.
I'm not being paid.
Ladies and gentlemen, could we just thank all four girls for being very good sports? Thank you very much for coming in. Thanks. Derryn, in 1997, you're 53, you're out of work and heavily in debt. The champagne life that you once enjoyed is now well and truly flat. But being you refuse to take the easy way out, and to avoid bankruptcy, you sell all your remaining assets. You now begin the slow climb back up the ladder. And it certainly helps when you recently star in the hit Australian movie, The Wog Boy.
I want to say something to you and to everybody else in your situation. You've been called a lot of names tonight, and I intend to call you one more.
Oh, great.
You're a battler. You're a little Aussie battler, trying to do your best in a hard, cold world. And maybe the politicians of this country need to appreciate that.
What? What?
What? You heard me. I mean, if that's what it means when you call yourself a wog boy, then I'm a wog boy too. And maybe what this country needs are a few more wog boys. Coming up next on 24 Hours, the story of the truckie who won't go anywhere without his mate, Jono, the talking parrot.
Well, the star of that movie, Nick Giannopoulos, sends you this.
Yes, well, Derryn, how are you, mate? Hey, it's me, the Wog Boy. Remember me? Of course you do. Now, a lot of people won't know this, but you actually said shame, shame, shame for the very first time in my movie.
I'm Derryn Hinch. Tonight, someone who is a disgrace to the nation, a stinking dole cheat who's rorting the system and flaunting it in our faces. Steve Karametzis, shame, shame, shame. You are a cheat, you are a bludger, you are living the good life at the expense of honest, decent, hard-working Australian taxpayers. What do you say to that?
Good on you, mate. Well done. Have a great night.
That is the truth. I did not ever say shame, shame, shame. I once said to Malcolm Fraser, shame, Australia, shame, about Cambodia and Pol Pot. I'd never said it, did not ever say it until Vizard got onto it with Hunch.
It must have been Vizard. Derryn, these days, you're back in radio on Melbourne's 3AK, and you particularly wanted to thank someone, didn't you?
Well, somebody who's turned out to be a great liar. She's over there, Marina Paul. She's my producer on radio. She's my manager. She's a dear, dear friend. And in the tough times the past 2 or 3 years, I was crawling out of things. She also, I nicknamed her the Booze Police, and she did wonders for me. I just want to recognise her out there.
Derryn, you more than most know all about ups and downs. And what they do for you is make you realise what's really important in life, and it's family. Now, you don't see him as much as you'd like these days, but you know he's always been there for you. Ladies and gentlemen, from New Zealand, Derryn's 85-year-old father, Dick Hinch.
You got me. I'm very proud of you, son, for what you've done, and I wish you all the best in the future. Dad.
I love you. I love you, Dad.
I love you. You get to see each other much?
No, we did have a holiday together earlier this year up in Queensland. I did it to him. I snuck up there to Queensland. He was holidaying there, and he's walking out of the lift to go to Mooloolaba. And as he came out of the lift, I was standing there. I said, "G'day, Dad," and gotcha. So you got me back, huh?
Yeah, but you told me to come down to the thing. You left a parcel down
That's
there.
right. So I left a parcel for you. I was the parcel. I was the parcel. Well, that's a good con, because when I saw him there, and I thought, oh damn, he's not going to be here. And I was going to call you up and say, why the hell didn't you come over? But there you are, Dad. It's fantastic.
Mr. Hinch, would you take a seat next to Derryn, please?
You reckon you see the family likeness? What do you reckon?
Yeah, except he's a bit better looking, Derryn.
Yeah, he's better looking. Paul Keating once said to me, he said, "You know, you're Irish." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Look at you, you're Irish." And we are, look at that.
Very good.
Derryn, you've come such a long way and done so much since you were that 15-year-old cadet journalist. For 40 years, people have read your headlines and they've watched you make them. Ruffle feathers? Sure. Upset people? Absolutely, but always doing what you believe is fair and accurate. Derryn Hinch, this is your life.